Why is the shopping cart always in the top right of the screen?
How do companies predict my purchases?
Why do prices end in 9?
Why do fast food companies use red and yellow in their logos?
Why do restaurants always have one expensive menu item?
Researchers, marketers, and very curious people seek the answers for how we make decisions and how we choose products. Clicksuasion finds the secrets that companies use and shares them with you.
Why do I feel better when I bought the last remaining airline ticket?
How do I make choices based on colors and fonts?
Welcome back to the Clicksuasion podcast. This is Katana Lemelin in Pinehurst, North Carolina. Today, we're discussing 3 tips for improving website data. This includes utilizing Google Analytics, developing a measurable plan, and identifying your website audience to gather accurate data to improve your marketing efforts. So, why should you care about your website data? It's not ones and zeros, long lines of code, or even your browser history, which now this is your reminder to clear your cache. I'm talking about who visits your website at X date and Y time, how often, on which device, Android, iPhone, desktop, or tablet, how long they stay on a given page, or if they are leaving a page immediately, and what they are most likely to search for. All of these allow you to sharpen your marketing strategies to better fill your consumers' needs and build lasting relationships that will keep them coming back. For example, you're preparing to head to work early today and you want to check out the local coffee shop. So you open their website to place a quick order to ensure you won't be late. The homepage loads in 1, 2, 3, and there's a clear in all bold Order Now button in the top right-hand corner of the screen. You tap that only to come to a page that has pictures of coffee drinks, lattes, frappuccinos, and such that are too large and text so tiny that an ant couldn't read it. No manner of pinching and zooming with your fingers on your phone solves this, so you close the browser, pocket your phone, and head to work without your coffee. As the owner of the coffee shop, how would you know your product or services page was unusable, assuming someone isn't really nice and calls that in? Your website data can tell you. Bounce rates, or how many people exit from a page, and session duration, how long a viewer stays on a given page before they exit, can inform you of potential problems. So when you check your services page, you might see a bounce rate of 96% and a session duration of only 15 seconds. Viewers are leaving the page fairly quickly, and most of your audience leaves the page without continuing to browse your website. This would be fine if the page they were leaving was a sales confirmation or form submission. More than likely, your viewers are doing whatever you ask, whatever call to action, and then leaving the page to continue about their day. So the short of it is, gathering website data provides unique insights into consumer behavior that can help tailor your marketing strategies to fit their needs, improving engagement, increasing sales, and saving valuable time. So our first tip to improve website data is to install and use Google Analytics. Depending on your website hosting package, you may have access to some website analytics already. However, if you aren't using Google Analytics, create a new Google account specifically for your business and link it to your website to begin tracking data. You can use the Google Tag Manager to manage and deploy snippets of code or tracking pixels on your website. Fortunately, Google Tag Manager is easy to use once you have some technical knowledge to set up tags, triggers, and variables. Once you get over the learning curve, you can customize the data sent to your Google Analytics. Track basic events like PDF downloads, outbound link clicks, or button clicks. Another use for Google Analytics is using it to generate ideas for keywords for your website. There are 2 ways to do this. If your website has a search box, set up Google Site Search to monitor what keywords your audience is searching for. Then, you can prep the answers to the questions that they aren't finding. The second way is to dive into your Google Analytics console and look at your organic keyword search results and paid results if you're using paid campaigns. One last quick bit for Google Analytics is connecting it to your Google Search Console. This is a free tool that helps measure your site's traffic, keyword performance, fix issues, and receive messages from Google about your website. Unlike Google Analytics, the Google Search Console only provides data on traffic that comes from web searches. This is why we recommend both. Submit pages to the Google Index from the console to verify that your site's URLs are healthy and to check for possible errors across your domain. So, now that Google Analytics is hopefully installed, or you have plans to install Google Analytics on your site, you'll have tons of data to sift through. Beware of confirmation bias as you dive into this data. This bias happens when you consciously or unconsciously look for information or patterns in the data that confirm the ideas you already hold.
To learn more about how the lab is growing, visit clicksuation.com/supercharged.
Our second tip to improve website data is to develop a plan now that you have access to all of this data and you're aware of potential bias. Set goals that align with your overarching plan. If your goal is to increase sales, that's awesome. Set measurable KPIs or key performance indicators that will support you. For sales, it may be important to watch your conversions or the number of visitors who have taken the desired action, in this case, making a purchase, or maybe keeping an eye on shopping cart abandonment. Check in with Google Analytics to see what the bounce rate for your product or service pages is. How long are your viewers on the product page? Do they click through to their cart? If not, where are you losing them? Identify these points to strengthen your funnels. Once you have a plan in place, be prepared to revamp and revise. This should be a living, breathing document that changes as the market and your audience does. You may have the same core audience, but expand into new areas. Say your sales are up, and now you want to build your brand awareness to keep new customers coming back. KPIs to track might be your audience, how many returning visitors you have, and how often are they visiting. And what is their average user duration or session?
To learn more about how the lab is growing, visit clicksuation.com/supercharged.
Our third tip to improve website data is to use your analytics to identify your audience. Google Analytics shares which percentage of your audience is women who visit on Android or men who visit from desktops, and even from which country they're visiting. Identify who is looking at your site and if that matches your target audience. From there, you can begin crafting personas to better speak and build relationships with your ideal audience. If you are a coffee shop, perhaps your baristas have mentioned that they've seen an influx of moms around 3 p.m. You can refer to your website analytics to confirm if this is true and then adapt your language and marketing to better target that audience. To dive even further, use UTM parameters to track the value of your social marketing. Provide precise data about conversions and traffic sources outside of your website, and test posts with A/B comparisons. UTM parameters are short pieces of code that can be added to links. This is everything that comes after the question mark in a URL. You can add up to 5 parameters, and Google Analytics requires 3 of these. These 5 are the campaign source, or the social network, so that would be Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc. The medium, or the type of channel traffic, if it's organic, paid, email. The name of your campaign, to separate the UTM links for your own sanity. The term, to track paid keywords, so the term or the keyword to watch. And then the content, so if you want to track ads within a campaign. The first 3 that I mentioned, campaign source, medium, and name, are the 3 that are required by Google Analytics when using UTM parameters. UTM parameters are a simple, straightforward, and reliable way to track website traffic. They also play well with Google Analytics, as I've mentioned. So if you're sending traffic to your website from external sources, such as your social media accounts or email campaigns, UTM codes should be part of your toolkit. We've covered 3 tips to improve your website data. Utilizing Google Analytics on your website through Google Tag Manager, keywords, and Google Console. developing a plan with measurable metrics that will continue to live and grow as your business does, and finally, using all of this data to identify your audience to refine your talking points. This is Katana Lemelin in Pinehurst, North Carolina.
Thanks for listening to Clicksuasion. Subscribe to the podcast, read our research, and get in touch with us at clicksuasion.com. You can also find us on Twitter with the handle @Clicksuasion.